how do I find the people that would buy from me, right? How do I reach the people I want to make an impact for? If you're waiting to feel ready or waiting to feel like people are going to believe you or this, that, and the other thing, you will wait for the rest of your life. All that you need is a system. Keep it simple. Do not underestimate how important it is that you build your name. That's number one. Number two, when you have an opportunity to explain your business, and you might not know the answer to this because there's no right answer, practice getting clearer and clearer about what you're putting out into the world. So paint the picture for me so I, as a potential consumer or supporter of the business, understand what you do.
Okay, so I work with young adult women and teens between the ages of 15 and 25 to help them take their goals and turn them into achievable successes.
Cool. And so who hires you? Parents?
Yeah, so they're my ideal target as far as the decision maker, and the 15-year-old to 25-year-old women are who I actually work with. So as far as mentoring and coaching is what I focus on.
Fantastic. So as a parent, if I had a child in that age group, you would be somebody, if I were looking for a therapist or a college advisor or whatever, and my kid needs something, but they just I can't do it because I'm fighting with them all the time and they seem undirected and they're pissing, you're the person that I'm like, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, great. How can I help you? What are you struggling with, or what question do you have specifically that I can help you with?
Yeah. So since I just changed directions to work with teens and young adults, now it's really kind of getting into the mindset of how do I approach the parents? Where do I find them? So I have a 9-to-5 that I work with as well through a corporation. So it was easier for me to find young women leaders before because I was always in front of them. But now I have to change that. And I guess I'm not quite sure how to do that. Do I approach schools, or do I try to do some speaking there? Or is it that I just have to find a platform where moms and parents are?
Okay. So what you're asking is, how do I find the people that would buy from me, right? How do I reach the people I want to make an impact for? What I don't want you to do, everybody, is I don't want you to have a needle in a haystack mentality. I don't want you to narrow your focus and say, should I go to schools? Should I do this? Should I do that? I want you to invert it. Okay. And what I mean by that is, instead of looking for the singular thing, the singular place that you're going to find people, I want you to first think about, what is it that I need to put out into the world? What conversation do I want to be having on social media so that anybody looking for this sort of thing can find me? And when you're just getting started, what that means, in my opinion, and again, you're going to get all kinds of information in this course, all kinds of resources, but to just get started, everybody, you need a one-pager in terms of your website. I personally believe if you are launching a service-based business where you are the one providing the service, I prefer that your name be the URL. And if you cannot get your name, somehow get your name in it. Because if you think about it, when people are going to refer you to other people, they're not going to remember the such and such coaching service or the this and that, blah, blah, blah. They're going to refer you, the human being. You even just said, I got certified in John Maxwell. You referred to John Maxwell. And so first and foremost, you want to make sure you understand you are the brand. Okay. So don't worry about a fancy name. If you have a fancy name, that's no big deal. But I want to encourage you to really think about the fact that you want to build equity in your name. My husband and I right now are building this house in Southern Vermont. And the guy that is building it, Eric Gutbeer, he has a construction company. I think it's Red Mountain Construction. I never refer to the construction company, even though that's what's on his car. That's what the website is. That's what the URL handle is. I only ever refer to him as Eric. And that's how I would introduce him to somebody. The woman that's helping me pick out the stuff, like, so that it's like, we got tile and that stuff. Her business is called Blend Designs. I don't refer to people to Blend Designs. I refer them to Christina. And so if you are a service-based business, do not underestimate how important it is that you build your name. That's number one. Number two, I believe it is extraordinarily important for you to start having a conversation with the world about what you do. What does that mean? That means before you go into a school and start talking to people, make sure you have a one-page website that somebody can find you at, or a Facebook page that looks legit, or a LinkedIn page that looks like a place online that people can find you, where you explain that this is what you do. And the reason why you want that is because if you do go into a school and you talk to somebody, they're then going to Google you, or they're then going to want to go look, and they just need to see a page. That's it. You need a place just to get started. Because a lot of times in the beginning, I got myself totally freaked out about, I need 10 pages. I need this. I need testimonials. I need the other thing. If you're making the pivot now, keep it simple, because that's going to give you the confidence to be able to get out there and know that people are going to see something that backs up what you're saying. And it can be very simple. Third thing is, and I'm going to hammer this a lot, everybody, social media. Your social media accounts, especially if you're in business for yourself, should reflect what you're doing in business. Whether you're taking a photo of yourself with your favorite book for teenagers, whether you are writing short passages, whether you're doing those little swipe series, the 7 things that make, girls insecure, ages 15, whatever. I want you to start to realize that even more important than your website, your social media is speaking volumes about what you do. And the reason why I went from don't have a needle in the haystack mindset, let's invert it and let's make sure that you're everywhere before you think about where the audience is because when you start to walk into schools, when you start to have parents hire you to work with their kids, there is going to be a chain reaction of people who are going to want to talk to you about what you're doing. And I'm going to tell you why. Let me just take a sip of water. It is impossible to find a therapist. Anxiety levels in kids are through the roof. There has never been a greater need for somebody to offer coaching services to kids. And you want to make it very easy and very clear that this is what you do. Can't find a therapist and you really just need somebody to provide structure and goal setting and accountability. I work with kids with ADHD. I work with kids like this. I work with kids like that. I have experience in this. There you go. Make it very easy for them to understand what you do and to reach out and ask you about it. And so once you have a one-pager, once you've got 1 or 2 posts that look fine, it does not have to be like a full-on content strategy. Now you're in business. And then, yes, you should go to schools. The other place that you should go, where else have you thought about going before I just tell you all this? Because I'm sure you know.
Yeah, so I've obviously thought of the schools. I've thought of high schools and college. I have an 18, well, she's going to be 18 in a couple of weeks, my daughter. And so I was thinking about talking to her and getting in front of her friends and maybe doing some surveys of like what they're struggling with, and then just talking to their parents. I mean, I have 4 children. I should be able to talk to parents. And I think that, again, that social circle.
Now, hold on. Did anybody else pick up on a little insecurity there? I have 4 kids. I should be able to talk to parents. Yeah. So my suspicion is that are you sure about your pricing? And are you sure about the program you're offering?
No, I'm not. So The program, I think that's what it is. I know what I want to do.
What do you want to do?
I just want to mentor girls so that they know that their circumstances and the hard decisions that they go through at a young age aren't going to define who they are as they become adults. And I don't know why that's so, it's definitely a mindset. I know it's all mindset, and I feel it in my bones when I talk about it, that I have the ability to do it and I'm holding myself back. And I don't know why.
Yeah, you do. Why are you holding yourself back?
Oh man. Probably because I had such a rough upbringing, and I feel like sometimes that still haunts me. And I think that people don't look at me as the professional or the girl who overcame. Sometimes I feel like I'm stuck in the girl who was.
Okay, question. Do you live in the place you grew up?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is going to, if you live in the place that you grew up and you had a very rough childhood and you experienced childhood trauma, the only person who needs to be convinced that you've overcome it is you.
Yeah.
What did you just get?
Oh, I got a whole lot. Like, yes, that is right. I need to let it go. And
well, you'll never let it go because it's a part of you. Like, the thing about trauma is it gets stored in your nervous system.
Yeah.
And so there's lots that you can do to smooth out your nervous system and to heal what's been recorded in your subconscious and in your nervous system. That's a different conversation.
Yeah.
The conversation that you and I need to have is the one about the story you're telling yourself. You've brought up your past multiple times. And in my world, all of that hardship that you went through is the reason why you have expertise in this area. It is the reason why kids that age would listen to you. It is the reason why you are perfectly equipped to make a difference. And all that you need is a system. You see, I think a lot of times we all get tripped up, everybody, because we think we've got to mentally be there when that's a big battle. If we just create some simple systems and you focus on following the systems, your mindset catches up with the systems. It's through your actions that you change your life and you change your beliefs about yourself. And so if you're waiting, or Alexis, or any of you are waiting to feel ready or waiting to feel like people are going to believe you or this, that, and the other thing, you will wait for the rest of your life. We need to equip each one of you with a couple simple steps that create a system that allow you to take actions that align with the person you know you are deep down inside. So what do I mean when, in your case, when I talk about systems? Well, number one system would be a pricing structure and a program. And I'm going to give you the one that I started with when I started a life coaching business in 2001. And then I'm going to talk about mentoring versus coaching. Okay. Because it's two totally different things. One of them is volunteer and the other is paid. Okay. And so I do not want you to confuse those two things. When I got started as a life coach in 2001, I had a very simple system for pricing what I did and for recruiting clients. This is what I said. I said, I work with successful people who feel stuck or bored in life. And just about everybody that would hear me say that would go, well, shit, that's me. And then they would say, what do you do? I say, well, I am a master at helping you figure out what to do next, what's not working, how to fix it. I hold you accountable. And if you don't do what I say, I fire you as a client. And then people would say, what? You fire me? And I say, yes, because if you're not going to do what I say, why would I coach you? My job is to tell you what to do so that you can start to feel more fulfilled and less stuck. Okay, that sounds interesting. What's the price? I think I was like $75 an hour when I started. And I had no retainer. I had no minimum amount of time. I didn't have like a 3-month program, a 6-month this. There are a lot of coaches that are like, you got to commit. You got to commit to the 6 months. You got to pay in full in advance. I was so insecure when I started my business. I'm like, I will do anything to get somebody to say yes. So let me make the bar so low that, hey, we have our first call. It's an hour. It's $75. If I do a good job, we book the next one. If you cancel in less than 24 hours, you still owe me the $75. And that was that. And it made it easy for somebody to say yes. And it allowed me to create a little system. When somebody said, what do you do for a living? I said, life coach. What's that? Oh, it means that I work with successful people who feel stuck or bored. Oh, that sounds like me. How does it work? Oh, well, I basically boss you around until you get your act together. Really? Yes. If you don't do what I say, I fire you. For real? Yes. How much does it cost? Oh, it's simple. I don't like fancy, complicated things. It's $75 an hour. You pay as you go. If I don't like you, we don't keep going. If you don't like me, we don't keep going. There you go. It takes about 3 months typically. Really? Really? Oh, okay. So you want to book a call? Yes. Holy shit, I have a client. Okay, now what do I do? So you need that system so that you're not doing focus groups, because you don't need to do focus groups. What does a parent need right now?
Support, understanding, help.
Yes. And how much would a parent likely pay if they had a trusted resource that their kid would speak to for an hour every week or two? How much would you pay?
I would pay any amount, honestly. But I don't know, like $100.
$100 a what?
An hour or a session. Most sessions would be an hour.
Okay, terrific. There you go. There's your system. Do you have a minimum number of meetings?
See, I did. I was doing 3 months and I didn't like that. So I like we do one session, see how it goes. If I like you and if you like me, I love that. That took so much pressure off. As soon as you were saying that, I literally felt it all lift. That's incredible.
And then here's another service. You ready? And mom and dad, assuming your kids are 18 and under, we also have a session.
Yeah.
Because I need to know what's actually going on and you need to know what I'm talking to your kid about.
Yeah.
And my job is to help your child be successful and feel better about themselves as they're filling out applications or as they're sorting through their stuff and you're waiting to get them into therapy or you're like all that stuff. That's how you get started. And see, what's going to happen is this: you get 2 or 3 kids on the roster and parents, as you know, talk. And what you want them to do is to say, oh, well, we hired Alexis. She's been amazing. She's helping them stay more organized, feel more confident. It's just been a wonderful resource. And then other parents are like, can you give me her name? And that's how it starts. And then what will happen, because this is what happened to me, it's going to happen to you, is when you have a simple way to kind of get started, you do not need focus groups at all. You need a 1-page website. You need a simple system for pricing. You need a way to talk about what you do so that other people can tell other people. And then once you get going, you'll feel your way there. You'll determine once you get moving, oh, I only like 10 clients at a time. Oh, I would prefer a 3-month retainer. Oh, I prefer clients that get referred in by a therapist. Oh, no, I actually love working with kids that are applying to college. And so there's a lot of guidance counselors that send people to me. And so you'll find your way that way. Hey, it's Mel. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed that video, by God, please subscribe because I don't want you to miss a thing. Thank you so much for being here. We've got so much amazing stuff coming. Thank you so much for sending this stuff to your friends and your family. I love you. We create these videos for you. So make sure you subscribe. Mwah.